Oh no. 4 weeks ago, Wilms, a sour pig herder, died of old age in his sleep. His family mourned and buried him, but death has not inconvenienced Wilms. Oh my god. All right, we are playing a game called King of Dragon Pass, and I'm going to let you know right at the outset that I will probably call it Kingdom of Dragon Pass each and every time. I can't seem to stop myself. But you'll just know that when I do that, it's actually called King of Dragon Pass, but this is a very unique and interesting game that I have found quite by accident. I've been waiting patiently for Dwarf Fortress to come out, as I'm sure many have, and I got up early in the morning and Steam said, well, you've got about an hour to kill before we'll let you buy it. And so I figured, well, you know what, let's check out the publisher of Dwarf Fortress, Kitfox Games. If they're willing to publish that game, they probably have a catalog of interesting games. And sure enough, they did, and that led me down a short rabbit hole that ended with this game, King of Dragon Pass. This game has elements of a game that does not exist, but a game that I've been looking for forever. And that game would be a simulator of the actual experience of being a king, or a simulator of the experience of being a leader of leaders. There certainly are a number of strategy games and grand strategy games and 4X games that give you the experience of ruling a culture, a group of people, a fighting force, whatever. But I find that a lot of these games, by the very nature of strategy games, end up seeing you micromanage things that you would not normally be expected to, nor should you be micromanaging if you actually were a leader of leaders. And so the game that I've been looking for is one where instead you would interact with a council of advisors that would report to you, give you advice, give you their take on a situation, and be continually trying to lobby you to do certain things. Now, in my ideal game, a core part of this gameplay would be intrigue and subterfuge and, people scheming with each other and against each other and with you and against you, so that with each piece of advice you're given, you're left to figure out, are you receiving this advice because it's what's good for the kingdom or the land or whatever it is you're doing? Or is it what's good for the person that is giving you the advice, and maybe their line, their family, their house, their lineage, whatever. Now, Kingdom of Dragon Pass does not have any subterfuge or mystery or intrigue, but what it is a game that you principally play by interacting with a council of advisors. That is really the core of the gameplay. It is a text-based, narrative-based game that's probably not for everybody, but I've been having a ton of fun with it. And it's a game where it kind of plays out like Crusader Kings, where you get pop-up text, like the flavor text, where you get to make decisions based on what you're reading. And in this game, King of Dragon Pass, to make those decisions, you seek advice from your council, rather than, for example, in Crusader Kings, where the council kind of just exists to help you augment numbers. You might push a button to increase control in county, or push a button to disrupt schemes. Here, the numbers aren't really as important. What you're really looking for is the opinion of your council, and they'll make decisions based on their experience in particular areas, based on the gods they worship, based on their age, based on their background, whatever. And you have to determine what the best course of action is through the sum of all this advice. One of the things that's really interesting about this game is that the developer has endeavored to make it a game where there is no black or white in any given situation. There is no absolute correct answer. Ideally, in the beginning at least, you should be kind of unsure of every single decision you make. And these decisions will have both immediate effects and quite possibly also long-term effects. You play this game over the course of seasons, and seasons turn into years, and throughout these years, people on your council will grow old, they'll die, they'll get sick, they'll travel, they'll leave your council for various reasons, and you have to kind of manage through all of that. Now, this is not a huge game by any stretch. It's also a very old game. This game was released in 1999. And apparently was not a great success when it was released, but it was ported to iOS in the early 2010s, I believe, and then shortly after that to PC. And I think it was a game that was kind of, unfortunately, ahead of its time in terms of the indie game scene that exists now. It probably would have had a great, better success were it released, some 4 or 5 years ago. However, that being said, the developer Ace Sharp Games recently spun their company back up and made a spiritual successor to this game called 6 Ages: Ride Like the Wind. All right, so we're going to play a little bit today, but when I click play, we will first be taken through a series of questions about the distant and ancient history of our people, and that'll give us a basis for who we are and why we make the decisions we make when things come up later as we play the game. All right, let's hop in. There once was a time when gods and people walked the earth together. Your clan traces its ancestry back to those times. Your clan history begins when you join the forces of the storm god Orlanth, Back then, Orlanth was simply one of many upstart rebellious gods bent upon conquest of the world. Orlanth's unique contributions at that time were personal honor and close kinship to the other deities who seemed to be on the winning side. After many tribulations, adventures, and discoveries, Orlanth proved himself worthy of marrying Ernalda, the Earth Mother. The two formed the marriage ring and created a great harmony in the world through this sacred bond. Your clan took part in the wedding ceremony. Most clans either whooped with Orlanth or learned a secret from Ernalda. A few clans stood with Elmal, the god of horses and the sun, as an honor guard. How did you prepare for the great marriage? All right. We donned the gleaming armor and stood guard with Elmal. We whooped with Orlanth, or we withdrew with Ernalda and learned a list of names. I'll say we whooped with Orlanth. Your men whooped with Orlanth and drank the 8 known drinks so that your heads would hurt during the ceremony. Orlanth's struggle to remake the world was just a beginning, and many other gods joined him in it. Orlanth fought Yelm, the Bright Emperor, and undertook many wars of conquest. Other more peaceful deeds were just as important. Your earliest famous event was... So I usually like to lean into diplomatic, speech-driven, diplomatic, charismatic-driven choices in these kind of games, so I think we'll go with the one that seems to fit that area the most. Jested's Settlement. We took part in Jested's Settlement, where Orlanthan Isseries, the talking god, outwitted foreign deities in a difficult negotiation. That should do for us. Orlanth succeeded in remaking the world. Thus began the golden era of the Storm Age. Orlanth's son Vinkat was a famous warlord during this time. Most people in the area were his followers. He introduced new principles such as the rule of hospitality, which said that after you invited people into your steads, you could not attack or harm them. Thus was much treachery banished from the Orlanthi society. Many who would not have survived agreed to his new ways in order to gain his protection. He was a great organizer and helped many scattered people form into new clans and tribes. Your clan was one of those aided by King Vinkat. After you proved yourselves robust and capable of survival, Vinkat placed a remnant people under your protection. They were the Nalda Bin, or stick farmers. You had a choice whether to make them into thralls or adopt them as members of your clan. How did you add these strangers? I don't think we were slavers. We adopted them as family. The foes of the Vinkatlings were many, and your people fought hard against them. Which one of them in particular did you fight? And we can choose from the Troll Lord, the Basmali Beastmen, I'm assuming that's these guys, the Elf Warlord, the Champion of the Flatland called Prax, or the Warlord of the Ice Tribe. I think we'll go with Chinkismore. I have no idea what that's going to mean, but we'll go with Chinkismore, the Elf Warlord. The Storm Age ended in disaster, when the gods and creatures of chaos came and destroyed nearly everything. Orlanth and his allies fought hard, but chaos almost always won. Many gods died and new ones rose to prominence. Many people died too. Catastrophe shook the world, the sunfall, the rain of blood, and the terrible laughing tsunami. The darkness got so bad that even Orlanth and his companions had to abandon humans to their own destiny. Only a few deities, either small ones or weak ones, remained. The world stagnated and died. Your clan was diminished to a ragged handful of hardy survivors. Hart the King was the leader who emerged amid the turmoil of darkness. The efforts of Hart and his companions helped set the world in order again. He created the laws that we follow to this day. One of the great distinctions which Hart discerned among his clans was that some of them tended towards either peace or war, while others maintained a balance between these two principles. Which kind was your clan? We'll be balanced to start. I believe you can reorganize later and become warlike or peace-like if you like, but hopefully that'll give us a chance to check out all things. All right. Finally, the sun god rose again. While the rest of society worked to protect themselves, find food, or otherwise just survive, the first priests worked to reestablish links with the ancient deities. With a new harmony between peoples and deities, the world was slowly improved. Once the awakening process had begun, it got easier and went quicker as the gods woke each other too. Who was the first deity which your clan helped awaken? Maybe our people remembered Isseries, for whom we worked with the, what did we do, the Jested's Settlement? So we'll wake Isseries, the talking god, first. Things have been different since the dawn 1300 years ago. Orlanth and the other gods retreated from the world, leaving it to mortals. You can still contact them through ritual and sacrifice, or enter their realm by reenacting stories about their deeds which contain great magic. But they no longer walk beside you. When you settled in a new place, you marked this change in the world by naming your land not after a god, but after a mortal like yourselves. You called it Heartland, in honor of the king who taught you how to survive during the darkness. About 600 years ago, a dragon approached you, either in its own form or that of a human with a dragon's soul inside. The dragons had always been hostile, or, at the very best, utterly uncaring. Orlanth was always the dragon slayer. You had to choose whether to believe it and cooperate and learn to do what dragons know, or whether to maintain neutrality. How was your attitude towards the dragon? I think we'll maintain neutrality. We didn't go along, we were neutral. Alright, most of the people who said yes to the dragon moved to Dragon Pass, a land to the north of your home. You stayed in Heartland, and it's a good thing too. For a little over 200 years ago, the dragons rose up and ate everyone who lived in Dragon Pass. They ate the Orlanthi, along with all the other foolish human dragon friends. For a long time, no humans went to Dragon Pass. They were sure that dragons would eat them too. Alright, dodged a bullet. Recent events made you think twice about the abandoned land of Dragon Pass. A generation ago, a usurper who called himself the Pharaoh came to Heartland and started a civil war. Your clan broke into disputes, sometimes violent, about whether to support the Pharaoh. In the end, your group of dissidents decided it would be better to risk the dangers of Dragon Pass than to stay and kill your own kin, the greatest sin an Orlanthi can commit. Those unable to live under the Pharaoh would move northward to Dragon Pass. People of similar beliefs from other clans had already made the same decision and settled there, so you made a new clan just as your ancestors had done in the days of King Hort. Your new clan made the dangerous trek to Dragon Pass and selected a place to live. Like the other Orlanthi refugees from Heartland, you settled in Quiviniland, a mountainous area in the southeast of Dragon Pass. You would call these lands your home, or Tula. Tradition required you to make a formal land claim. How much land did you claim? I think we'll claim a little bit more than we need. We'll see, so we can grow into it, if that matters. We'll see. All right, and we are Ernaldori. I like that. Yeah, sure, we're Ernaldori, and I'll leave it on normal and short. That's fine. And our history summary is, we prepared for the marriage of Ornalda and Orlanth by whooping with Orlanth. Our famous event was the Jested Settlement. We did not take slaves. Our greatest enemy is Chinkus Mor, the elf warlord. We're a balanced clan. We awakened Isseries, the talking god. Our attitude towards dragons was neutral, and we have more land than we need to grow into. All right, let's get going. All right, so absolutely none of what I'm going to do is going to be a tutorial by any stretch of the imagination. I've only got a couple hours into this game, but I can't imagine this is an incredibly popular game, so I'll probably talk a little bit about what the hell's going on as we're playing this, so you at least know what you're seeing on the screen. This game is broken up into seasons that make up years, and during specific seasons you'll do specific things. For example, right now we are in the Sacred Time, and the Sacred Time is when you allocate magic reserve points that we can see up here at the top of the screen. We have 7 magic reserve points. And magic is just kind of like your focus, like what your people are going to focus on. You might put a magic point, you might devote a magic point before you go into battle to hopefully ensure that you'll be successful for that battle. Like that just kind of like means your people are going to really focus on winning that battle, right? And here we're going to determine what we're going to put magic points into, and that'll give us, I guess, a bump in the ability to be successful. Like I said, I kind of think of it like focus. So we've got our forecast for the year. Our God Talkers say that the omens indicate a typical harvest. We will be blessed with many children this year. The Ernaldori clan's last year's summary was: we made the dangerous trek to Dragon Pass and claimed more land than we needed to grow into. We built a clan hall, some steads, and a shrine to Orlanth, but when we left Heartland, we lost much of our connection with the gods. Other clans we knew back in Heartland also sent emigrants to Dragon Pass, so we already have friends and enemies in the new land. It's now time for the annual allocation of our clan magic. All right, and this is our Council of Advisors in this game. I believe it's called the Ring, so this is our Ring of Advisors. This can change over time. They can die, they can get sick, they can travel on behalf of us as emissaries or caravan leaders. They also can get into like mini feuds with other clans and tribes who might demand they be removed from your ring, and then we'll see as we progress in this game, you have ways to reorganize this and add new people. If we double click on any one of these guys, if you click them one time, they'll give you advice on the particular screen you're in. If you click them again, it'll give you a summary of what they're all about. So this is Hend, he's 57. He's good with animals, he's good with bargaining, he's good with our customs, he's very good with leadership, good with magic plants. He worships Chalana Arroy, which if I recall correctly is like the health god. That's the one you pray to heal your wounded and your sick. Rendalyar is 39, he's okay with animals, he's renowned with bargaining. So this would be like a good guy to send to trade with another clan. We'll see that as we get in. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'll just give you an idea. This guy's got a funny looking smirk, and I find that these guys that have a funny looking smirk are all worshippers of, I'm pretty sure this is Ermal, the trickster god, which is basically just means that they're going to give wacky advice throughout the entire thing. They're going to tell us to hold feasts and to fuck with people nonstop. But most people on the ring typically think it's a good idea to have one of these guys on your ring no matter what, so. All right, so let's see what they have to say about our magic reserves, and we'll get a sense of the fact that they're rarely, in very rare cases, do they all agree on something in unison. It's not that they necessarily disagree with each other, but you're really left to your own devices to try to like figure out what you want to do. All right, and Hen says it's easier to keep people healthy than trying to cure them later. I think we should allocate 2 to health magic and conserve a few points in case we need to call on Chalana or Roy during the year. That is really good advice about keeping reserves, I have found. Even I think the tutorial tells you to do that. Don't commit to everything. We don't even have enough to put points into everything, and you get to change this each year during the sacred time, but you will want to save magic to do other like magical rituals like sacrifices or devote points to like raiding and war and stuff like that. So you always want to hold a few back. I usually like to hold like maybe 4 or 5 back, but we may spend a little more because we don't have much right now. So he says health and hold back a few. Rendalyar says spend what we can on mysteries so we can sacrifice to understand and perform Orlan's blessings. Orldag says let's allocate 2 to quests and then perform a hero quest. Absolutely not. We'll be performing a hero quest in this episode. A hero quest, I haven't done one yet, but you have to like get all this information by playing the game and like put together yourself, like remember all of these things that these gods did and then go through a series of scenarios and answer questions correctly, basically like a pop quiz on what this god did. And if you do that, something good happens, and if you do it bad, something bad happens. So we're not there yet, and we won't be there in the first season. So that is a ridiculous thing to do. So we'll ignore that guy. Ngana says our women will be glad to know that we will hear the cries and soft gurgling of babies this year. Karash says spend all we can on mysteries that we can sacrifice for understandings of the important blessings. Karendra says a lot 2 to crop magic. Our herds are also important, so earmark 2 for them. Leave some magic available in case we need to call on the earth goddesses. Ernaldesta says devote 2 to diplomacy. Then we should do rituals for war, trade, and mysteries. Leave something so we can deal with any crises that come up. And so each of these people are advocating for the thing that they're good at. Like, so she wanted us to devote them to crops and herds, and that's her area of expertise. And that kind of makes sense. That's, you know, that's why you're here. You're supposed to, you know, give me what your thoughts are from your area of expertise. I think we're going to spread it out a little bit. We're going to put, I don't think I'm going to worry about, well, this could bite me in the butt, but I don't think I'm going to worry about war or trade or quests right out of the gate. I'm debating whether I want to put 1 into mysteries or leave some to reserve. I find that we always end up needing food by the end of the year, and I have to trade. Like I said, I've only played this a couple hours, and it could be very random, but the couple of different times I've played, I found that I end up needing to trade for food. But that's rarely a problem because you usually can generate a profit through other means, quite literally through devoting some to war and going and raiding other people. You know, maybe we'll do just that. Maybe we'll take it off our herds and put 1 into war, and I'll leave 4. So we've got some for crops so we can make food. We've got some for health, and then a little bit in war because maybe we'll go raiding when the time comes. And that's another point of this game. Like I said, we're broken up into seasons, and so rarely, like I said, you will find these guys are all unanimously in agreement. And a time, as an example, let's actually proceed so we can get a look at that real quick. All right, so this is pretty much where you spend the majority of your time playing this game, and like I was just saying, these guys rarely, if ever, do they all unanimously agree on something. But if we look over here down the left side, this is a menu that contains selections of things we can do. So this is a menu that within each menu there are things I can review or things I can do. Like I can hold a feast, I can give out gifts, I could reorganize my clan, I could devote my land to cropland or pasture. I could slaughter my herds, and anywhere you click on this, all of these guys will have their opinions. So you can click on each of them and get their opinion on what they think you should do. But for example, if I go into any one of these things, if I click on any one of these selections inside of here, they'll then give me further information about what they think I should do. So if I click on raid, all right, hilariously, they haven't done it here. Usually they will unanimously say, this is planting season. Taking our farmers on a raid would be disastrous. Typically, I'll run through some of the things that I like to do right out of the gate. And by the time you've gotten a handful of things you kind of typically want to do, they'll start to bear down on more unanimous advice. And the type of unanimous advice I was just looking for was this, which is do not go raiding during your planting or harvesting season. But whatever, doesn't matter. What I will do, one of the first things I always like to do is assign more weapon thanes. Weapon thanes are like your standing army, So Hen tells us both farmers and the weapon thanes are satisfied. Ernaldori says, our clan has always considered Orlanth to be our most important deity. Our traditions are weakened because he doesn't have a personal relationship with Orlanth. Hend doesn't, yeah, okay. So Hend is like our chief. I think that's what this means. He's like the board president, the ring president. Unfortunately, like I said, this game is made in 1999, so it doesn't benefit from like 2 decades of all of the combined knowledge people have had about making games since that time. So like, there's no tooltips. Like I can't hover over this stuff and know what it means. What my understanding is that these little symbols indicate what god they worship, I think. Oral Dag says if Estonians were on the ring as a representative of Isseries, the talking god, our trading magic would be more powerful. It's good to keep in mind. A farm of your own is best, even if small, everyone's someone at home. Okay. The more gods representing on the clan ring, the better. This is good advice. The clan, yes. I said we would have 3 sick people by now. All right, good job. So, my goodness, I don't know how much that stayed in. I've yammered on, but one of the first things I like to do is appoint more weapon thanes. And he will let us know that we need 331 workers in our fields and pastures, so we have plenty. Population, 786. So we have plenty to spare. We could probably stand to have a few more weapon thanes. We have too many weapon thanes, and they're always picking on me. All right. I don't have anything to say right now. We could probably stand to have a few more weapon thanes. We could probably stand. We don't have enough weapon thanes. Yeah. I usually like to just go ahead and max that out. 14, I have 786 total population. I need 331 total to work our fields. What'll typically happen once you do that, though, is they'll start telling you, this guy will start telling you that the farmers are unhappy because the weapon thanes get a bunch of stuff. Like they get cows and they get goods and they get, rewards for being weapon thanes. And so you may end up having to give gifts to the farmers. So we've appointed weapon thanes. I may bring in some extra hunters, though. All right, and on the topic of bringing other hunters into the clan, Hend says, although our wildlands could support more hunters now, when our hunters raise their children to also be hunters, that may no longer be true. Fair enough, Hend. We need 331 workers, thank you. We should first build a shrine to Odalia, so our hunters will have a place to pray. That's not bad advice. Hunters serve the ring like all other clansmen. Our hunters fight as well as our other carls, but that has nothing to do with the question before the ring. All right, thank you. Our wildlands, we could certainly stand to have a few more hunters. Yeah, sure. Our hunters are decent warriors. It doesn't hurt to train with a bow instead of a sword. We'll go to 10. I have no good reason to do that. I'm just doing it. It's not like, it's just like I said, there's no tutorial here. There's no strategy on this. All right, let's run down these and see if they have any unique information to give me. I'm sure they're not going to for most of this. Our food situation seems okay. The expected harvest should last a year. We need 262. Yeah, he's just giving me totals. Barley makes the best beer. Wheat makes the best bread. That's farming in a nut. Thank you. Cattle know when they ought to go home and when they leave the pasture. All right, they're basically just giving me summaries of what's going on right now. All right, and so this, under magic, is a list of all the gods and the different things they do. This is the goddess of the hearth. Here we see Chalana Arroyo as the goddess of health and healing. You can perform a sacrifice to get a blessing, and that blessing will be listed here. If I performed a sacrifice right now, my understanding is it would unlock one of these blessings. If I wanted to lock in one of these blessings as permanent, like here we have healing, if I click this, it says I have to build a shrine to get a permanent blessing or sacrifice for a general blessing. So I could sacrifice now and just get a blessing from this person, but I could build a shrine, which I could choose then to have a permanent healing blessing, which would hasten the recovery of wounded people. I don't think we're going to do anything just yet in here. I soon would like to build a shrine to Chalana. Actually, let's see what they say. Before we can succeed at founding a tribe, we need to perform the Making of the Storm Tribe Hero quest. All right. Our clan magic is adequate. We should build more temples, then people will have to come here to worship. Custom requires that we have at least a shrine to Lankor Mai. Our clan magic is adequate. Our clan magic is poor. All right. What does Lankor Mai do? The knowing god and the god of law speaking. He is one of the 7 Lightbringers. He's the patron of jurors and scholars. I think a feast is in order. Yes, thank you. He'll always give that. Let me see this. I want to find what the... a shrine to Odalia. Yeah, I wanted to find what the shrine was we were recommended to build to Odalia, the god of hunting. A friend of the Lady of the Wild and of Orlanth's brother Yinkin, the Alinx god. All right. improves hunting food, reduces food spoilage due to rats and vermin, helps us find things. That's actually pretty good. But we're not going to do it just yet. And relations is our screen where we can both see what each tribe is known for. Like here we can see we're allied with this tribe, the Fire Quartz. They're known for their early arrival in Dragon Pass, and their chief is Verlaine. We're not going to send anybody out just yet, but I'm just kind of breezing through these things. Our best friends are the Fire Quartz, and the Orlevings hate us the most. Where are the Orlevings? Orlevings don't like us. Looks like the Oak Tree don't like us. Yeah, we're feuding with the Oak Tree. That's the red. And who did you say likes us? The Fire Quartz. Fire Quartz of the Vostang probably also like us. That's blue. We're also not going to do anything with trade yet. We have 3 trading partners who will likely exchange goods with us. But again, it's the sea season. It is the time of planting crops, so we're not going to be sending people away. Even though they haven't suggested it, they usually do. I'm going to go ahead and fortify. And we're not taking anybody on a raid. Yeah, we should build a watchtower. That's what I was going to do. Rendalier says we should build a watchtower to help us spot raids and give us time to respond. So if I build a watchtower now, I won't have to deal with... I hopefully can spot raids ahead of time when raiding season comes. So yeah, we'll go ahead and build a watchtower. It costs 10 goods. That's fine. We've got plenty of goods. 131. Boom. Awesome. And in doing that, every time you do something in a season, like so far I appointed Weapon Thanes, and now I've built a watchtower. Every time you do something, you progress time a little bit, and that increases the odds that you'll get one of these situations pop up. So we have Olend, an aspiring poet from the Orladness clan, jumped at the chance to entertain us during a visit, but his tale is approaching the length of an epic battle. A long, dull, dreary epic battle. And let's see what all of our ring have to say about this. He only wants to be noticed. Give him some applause and he will shut up. Rouse the sleepy audience to cheer him until he bows and ends the poem. I like that. I've talked to Orladness traders. Even they think Olend is a bore. Encourage him to keep going. Surely he will drop by morning. Just be glad he's not trying to recite Ruthakran and his chicken bride. Big King Yurgrain was known to kill and roast bad poets. I don't have an opinion. Our warriors are fond of good poetry. That probably explains why most of them are asleep. So when they are deeply in favor of a specific thing, it'll highlight blue. And if they have, like so here we see it wants us to wait patiently. The rest don't really have any particular, there we go. So we have kind of a majority opinion saying to rouse the sleepy audience to cheer him until he bows and ends the poem. I'm kind of in favor of that myself. So we'll go ahead and let's try that one out. Our mood increases, our warrior morale increases. We rouse the sleepy audience to cheer him until he bows and ends the poem. Olend blinked, smiled, and sat down to drink some mead. Nice. All right, and so now we're in the fire season, which I think is like summer. We've already done our planting, and now we can see Hend is telling us we can spare some farmers for a raid. I bet they're all going to say, we can probably, let's raid the oak trees. Let's not forget, we still have a feud with the oak trees. This would be a good time to raid them. Luckily, we have enough warriors. Let's not forget, we have enough warriors. So they're basically telling us our warriors are ready to go, and we've got that feud with the oak trees. This is the best time to do it. I say let's go for it. Why not? Let's do it. That's what we're here for. So I've selected the oak tree, and let's see what they have to say about this. If we want more fighters, ask the Lisangs for help. They owe us favors. We can share in the plunder. I actually don't know. I don't know how big the oak trees are. Oh, you know what I want to do actually real quick? Before we do this, I'm going to appoint more Weapon Thanes. Yes, I am. There we go. Everybody's still satisfied. We're going to go to war. We're going to raid. Now I've got more Weapon Thanes to choose from. Yeah, so we can send Weapon Thanes, and like I said, that's your, like, standing army. We'll send 17, leave a few. You always want to leave a few at home in case something goes wrong. During the, like, raid scenario, you might see that you didn't leave enough people. They'll tell you, like, you didn't leave enough people at home and you got raided yourself. We'll send 95 footmen. Footmen are just, like, raising the farmers to, like, come fight as well. And auxiliaries, as Karendra has noted, are healers. I don't know if there's a way to see ahead of time how the oak tree, how strong they are, but we'll find out in a minute. We're gonna find out real quick if they're gonna outclass us. All right, I'm ready to go. We're gonna go raid the oak trees, and hopefully they have less than 18 Weapon Thanes and 125 footmen. We'll go 25 auxiliaries. I could be overdoing this, but we'll see. All right, here we go. We elude the oak tree patrols, and our 18 weapon thanes and 125 footmen are facing only 3 weapon thanes and 69 swordsmen. Awesome. We will put 1 point of magic into the raid. We probably don't need it, but I want to just overkill it. And my understanding is if we don't do a sacrifice, we can charge them. And what that means is while they're getting set up, we're basically blitzkrieging them. We're rushing in before they're ready. So this basically absolutely guarantees we are going to just completely destroy them. And our objective here is to plunder. So hopefully we'll take some food and some herds and some crops and goods and stuff from them. So, all right, here we go. Awesome. They're fantastic. We destroyed them. They did nothing to us. Although the oak trees tried to retreat, we pursued them relentlessly, and they could not disengage. There was a bloody battle. We drove the oak trees from the battlefield, and we were able to plunder their tula. We captured 31 cows, 8 horses. We took 19 cows worth of loot. Cows is like how they determine all value. So everything is in the value of a cow, right? Our auxiliaries were able to patch up 2 of our warriors. So nobody was killed, nobody was wounded at all. It was a perfect battle. And now we are in the earth season. That's the harvest season, not the storm season or whatever. We can't spare a single person from the harvest, and that's fine. We don't want to. We raided the oak tree. That's fantastic. Let's raid the oak trees again. Everybody's happy. Nobody's unhappy, right? Both farmers and weapon thanes are satisfied. We'll run through these. What? We have the finest looking young women of any clan. All right, Aldag. All right, so we still got a couple people sick, but nobody's wounded. We're doing rather fine. We can't spare anybody from the harvest season, so we're not going to do any of that stuff. What we probably will do is I might fortify again, and we might have a feast. So I'm going to do that in reverse order. We're going to have a feast first. Nobody has said we should, but I mean, I feel like we just had a big war. I don't know if that's like a good idea in this game or not, but just feels right to me. We had a big old battle, so let's feast everybody. We should be arranging marriage feasts, but this is better than nothing. I don't know how we can do that. There's no point in having a feast if we don't invite our neighbors. That's a great point. In fact, we're going to make it a big one if we're going to invite our neighbors. Let's impress them. Bigger the feast, the better, Oraldag. I agree. In moderation, feasting brings joy. In excess, it brings nothing but trouble. Well, this is our first one this year. We'll try to do one a year. Maybe we should think less of our own pleasure and remember that the gods only get to feast when we sacrifice to them properly. I'll be out on patrol. Hey, screw you. All right, I don't care. We're doing one big feast, and that should increase everybody's morale. And I think we're going to fortify also. A ditch will slow attackers and perhaps give us some time to hide some of our wealth if we're defeated in battle. Let's raid. Yeah, we could build a ditch. We've got a stake perimeter, a watchtower. Let's build a ditch. Done. All right, Rangor, a prosperous herdsman of the Lonisi clan, appears before you bearing an offer of alliance from his clan leaders. He bears gifts for you. Our 2 clans have similar interests, Rangor says, and should band together to face the many threats that beset us in this unyielding land. We can pool the knowledge of our god talkers and prosper when we go questing in the realm of the gods. What do you say? It is excellent to have allies and bad to have feuds. I wholeheartedly agree. They are about as prosperous as we are, so we are well matched to be allies. A little white lie will soothe any injured feelings. All right, whatever. We have about the same size herds, which means we help each other out fairly. It is good to have someone to give you cows when you need them. Their ferd is not as big as ours. It is we who would help them in the field of battle, not the other way around. All right, so almost everybody says agree to alliance, and I'm inclined to agree. We could use some friends. We only have 2, I think, so we'll agree. So we agree to the alliance. This will be the beginning of a long and mutually profitable affiliation, Rangor says. I don't know if you can get called to somebody else's battle. Maybe you can. I don't know. We'll see. We are unlikely to be able to raid during the dark season. That's fine. Let's raid the oak trees. We have a feud. Everybody's happy. I think what we will do is we've got some sick. I say we'll build a shrine to Chalana Arroy. Let's see what these guys say before I do. Yeah, I want to build a shrine to health and healing, just so our people get... We've had 3 to 4 sick people throughout the entire year, so... I mean, you're always going to have some sick people. It's just like how life works, but... Yeah, we're going to try to reserve more clan magic for the next season. If I hold on to this, it rolls over, so... Okay. We really need at least a shrine to Chalana Arroy. It will prove that magic will keep everyone healthier. Shrine to health makes sense, by all means. Alright, yeah, we'll definitely build a shrine to Chalana Arroy. And we get a blessing of healing. If we did a sacrifice, which I think would cost a magic point, we could learn we could get a blessing of curing, and we would learn the blessing of curing. So this actually won't help us with sick people, but we can do that next time around. I'm gonna hold on to that magic. My understanding is the dark season is not really a good time to do anything out and about. Like if I sent people to explore, which I can do here. Oh, interesting, I can't get advice on this. Interesting. But if I sent people out, they would very likely just fail and come back because it's too crappy outside. And here we can see that saga I was talking about. As we make decisions, we start to fill out this book year over year. I think what we might do is I might just advance the season. This lady's always telling me she knows what she's doing. Everybody's happy. I don't want to send any people to war or out on a caravan or out on an emissary mission because it is shitty out. So we'll advance to the next season. Oh no. 4 weeks ago, Wilms, a sour pig herder, died of old age in his sleep. His family mourned and buried him, but death has not inconvenienced Wilms. Oh my god. Each night he climbs from his grave, returns home, sits at his son's table, and demands a meal. This is hilarious. He stays until dawn, eating their food and drinking their mead. His family is distraught. He is eating us bare. We won't have enough to last through the dark season, and the sight of a rotting corpse eating porridge puts us off our own dinner. Our children grow thin. They cannot sleep for the nightmares. Oh my god, that is fucking hilarious. I love also, they're like, whatever. They don't care their grandfather's like back. Our tribe president there, our ring president, says normally squabbles within a bloodline are not the business of the clan ring. This is not a normal case. So he says we could do any of these things. We could prepare a feast to sate this man's hunger and hopefully send him away. We could have Ernaldori destroy him with Humacht's magic. We could sacrifice to our ancestors for protection, or have Ernaldori get rid of him with trickster magic. Interesting. This is why we must always be vigilant. Even good members of our clan can rise from the grave. That is fucking fantastic. I hope that happens more often. All right, so he's leaning towards destroy this person. The dead are resolute but stupid, and so he's saying let's trick them. In Naladia's saga, a priestess lays a dead cousin back to rest. All right. Sometimes the dead bear tidings, but this one just wants pie. We really do need to resolve this before Wilms eats into our food reserves. Undead, bring me my sword. You know, maybe we'll let him use his trickster magic. See what that's worth. Rather than kill the guy, maybe we can just trick him to go back to the grave. Let's see what happens. We lose food and we gain mood. Have Ernaldori get rid of him with trickster magic. Ernaldori ordered the clan's cooks to prepare their most delicious meals. When they were done, he laid the food in a trail leading from Wilm's grave to the Orlanth lands. The Revenant ate his way from Artula and began raiding our neighbors' tables instead. The Orlmarthi were not pleased. What? Demanded Ernaldori. It's easier to give a problem away than to solve it. All right, that was not exactly what I was hoping for, but it's done. All right, we're now in the storm season. I reckon our profit, I'm just gonna check through relations and trade and see if we can do something non-raid like. I reckon our market will make a profit of 5 cows worth of goods this year. We ought to establish a permanent trading route, which will bring a profit to our market every year. Not a bad idea. We could sell some horses. He is a bad smith who cannot bear smoke, thank you. If we make proper observances to Isseries, our trade should prosper. Trade goods are fine, but you can't eat them. And in bad times, we can't always buy food. Let's see what they have to say about trading. We have enough trade goods to sell, we should buy some food. The Anili have the most cows, the Vostangi have the most horses, the Lisangs have the most food. The Orlevings have the most goods, but we're at war with them. We should sell some food, some goods and buy food. I'm down with that idea. Our mission should be fairly safe from bandits. All right, so a bunch of people say sell goods and buy food. I'm down with that. Okay, we're gonna give one more of each. And we're just going to double check that this person is the best bargainer. I'm sure they are. Yeah, bargaining. They're second, but that's fine. I don't want to send somebody from the ring because then I can't use their advice. If I chose him, he would not be available to give me advice on this journey. So instead, we are choosing Ionistarinen. All right, done. All right, we're sending him with 4 weapon thanes and 6 footmen. This person says the mission should be fairly safe from bandits. Anything can happen, but it's fine. And we have a medium-sized caravan, and we're selling goods and buying food. There you go, my friend. What I might do, the Orlevang are feuding with us, and they're known for their aggressive pursuit of trade. Maybe we'll try to make peace with them. We should try to make peace with the Orlevang. Oh, nice, that's what I wanted to do. I'm with you, and you're my leader, so yeah, good. Our chance of forming an alliance are best with the Lisangs. We need food, so we should call in a favor. We're already trading for food. I don't know that they know that yet, so. The oak trees hold us in low esteem. They won't want to see our emissaries, but might at least listen to an offer to end the feud. Let's go with resolve a feud from the Orlevang. So we have one less person knocking at our door to raid us. And let's send... Your bargaining is very good, your combat is very good, your leadership is very good. I think I'm gonna send this guy. He's very good at everything. And we'll give him 1 and 1. And we will resolve feud, and we will send to them some goods. We'll send 14 goods to them. My understanding is if you don't send anything, it's kind of considered if I recall from the tutorial, like, send at least 12 goods, otherwise it's considered insulting to just show up and be like, yo, you want to talk? So, alright, ASCII is heading out to resolve the feud with Orlevang. Oh, nice. Eonistarin's caravan to the Lisangs is blocked by a group of coarse-looking outlaws. His forces are slightly outnumbered. What should Eonistarin do? Well, he's got weapon things with them. Do we kill them? Unfortunately, I can't ask anybody for advice on this one. Let's protect the trade goods. Eonistarin arrayed his forces between the outlaws and the caravan. The outlaw leader was clearly looking for a softer target, and after a token rush forward, fled to the hills. Awesome. Oh, excellent. Our caravan is back from the Lisangs. We traded 40 cows worth of goods for 104 bushels of food. The Lisangs were in the middle of a hog calling contest when I arrived. All right. Ernaldori says, the way I hear it, the Varmandi clan is no longer the strongest clan in all Dragon Pass. The wolves have eclipsed them with more fighters and better arms and armor. And we are back into the sacred time. Fantastic. And there we see we've reserved some of our magic, so now we have even more to spend. All right, and our forecast for the year is our God Talkers say that the omens indicate a typical harvest. Some God Talkers identified good signs. Others thought things would go poorly. No one could agree. Unfortunate. Our Ernaldori clan's last year's summary was 107 babies were born. We initiated 19 children as adults. The clan has 79 more people, 5 more head of cattle, and 5 more horses than we did last Sacred Time. We produced 997 food, I suppose. Oh, and 938 bushels of food. 75 were lost due to spoilage. Our crafters produced 44 cows worth of goods. Our market made profit of 18 cows worth of goods. And then that's the cost to maintain our shrine. It's easier keeping people healthy, we know that. We might want to allocate some to health. Spend what we can on mysteries so we can sacrifice to understand and perform Orlan's blessings. I actually think I might do that this time around. I want to throw some in that. 2 to quest and then perform a hero quest. I'm not doing that. Honor Oralda and the Animal Mothers with 2 points of our clan magic. All right. Spend all we can on mysteries, then we can sacrifice for understandings of other important blessings. Allot 2 to crop magic. Our herds are also important. Devote 2 to diplomacy, then we should do rituals for war. Trade and mysteries, leave something so we can deal with any crisis that might come up. All right, we needed food, so I'm gonna keep in with the herds and the crops. I liked some going to war. We'll put a little bit to health. Maybe we'll do more raiding this time. Let's do 2 to war and we'll do more raiding. We'll go through 1 more year. Maybe I'll go through a little hot-headed. We'll see how that goes. All right, so we're doing 1 to crops, none to diplomacy, 1 to health, 1 to herds, 2 to war, and 1 to mysteries. All right, let's dive in. Oh, shit. Oh, it's the caravan. Jesus Christ. I was like, where's my entire ring? I got scared as shit. Yeah, so when you send an emissary out, you can get the advice of the emissary specifically, but you can't get the advice of your whole ring. So we sent this guy out to do some trading, and here he is ready to give us some advice. All right. ASCII has presented your gifts to the Orlevang. Oh yeah, not to do trading. He was to resolve a feud. That's right. ASCII has presented your gifts to the Orlevang and extended an offer of peace. The Orlevang receive your gifts politely. Temertane, their chief, is hard to read. Haran the Clang trader seems receptive. Vandarl, on the other hand, is clearly marshalling arguments why your emissary should simply be killed. If we had a tribe, we could band together and protect our cattle from outsiders. All right, that's very unhelpful. Thank you, sir. Arrange for a noble male of your clan to marry a noble girl of theirs and vice versa. I think that's a great idea. Offer them wealth, offer them support to a ritual of their choice, offer them a treasure. I say we arrange for a noble male of our clan to marry a noble girl of theirs. That is a tale as old as every medieval TV show I've ever seen, so we're gonna do that. They said they would sooner intermarry with beastmen than with us, and beastmen were their ancient enemies. Oh no. All right. All right, that didn't work out. Well, guess who's getting raided? I'm gonna fuck them up. All right. Our farmers and weapon thanes are satisfied, but I am not satisfied with the number of weapon thanes we have, so we're gonna recruit more. We need 333. We are fine. I think we have about the right number of weapon thanes. Everybody says it's about the right number. I'm gonna go 22. Done. Oh no, we lost 50 cows and farmer morale. The frantic Carls run to the ring to report that the Varmandi Carls are calmly taking an entire herd of 50 cattle away from you. If this is a raid, oh, it's a cattle raid. If this is a raid, they say it's a very strange raid. The Varmandi clan act as if they have permission to do this. Then Oraldag speaks up. They do have permission, my permission. I said they could take the whole herd. That herd was made up of entirely funny-looking cows. The Carls are beside themselves with shock and outrage. I still support the trickster, pain in the buttocks that he is, but people must be appeased too. Oh, Jesus Christ. We must tell them that friendship between our clan is more important than these cows. I mean it, these are really funny. I mean it, these are really funny-looking cows. This guy's a fucking asshole. It is more important to get the cows back than to punish the Oraldag. Oraldag has promised to obey the chieftain. He is sanctioned and protected, so long as he does nothing as blatantly harmful as this. Outlaw him. I mean, I kind of want to, but these people must see justice done or see the cows return, otherwise they will be sorely discontented. We are stronger than they are, and they know it. I feel like persuade is going to be the best answer. I got a lot of people saying persuade. We're going to persuade. We're going to try to persuade him, the Varmandi, to give the cows back. What argument do you use? Oraldag broke the law. If you take these cows, you're bringing it too. We are your friends. Do not take advantage of us in this way. I might say I'll do them 2 favors. I still support the trickster. They have no new advice, huh? All right. No new advice. We'll owe them 2 favors. It's going to be terrible, but I'm going to do it. We're going to owe them 2 favors. They said they would sooner have cows now than promises later. All right. The warriors are satisfied, but the farmers aren't. We could give them some wealth. I think I will do that. We already have a shrine to Isseries, the clan. Yeah, there's nothing new here. This lady's always got an I told you so for me. I'm going to give some gifts to the farmers. Give any fewer than 10 cows worth of goods would be pointless. The farmers are unhappier, so we should give it to them. We will absolutely be giving to the farmers, and we will give them 16 goods. I say we don't give anything to the snooty weapon thanes. What goes around and round, never stopping, a wheel, a soul, a gift. In all things balanced, the warriors and farmers must share in the clan's bounty. All right, we'll give them 16 goods. Hopefully they get happy. That didn't that didn't make them any happier. Whatever, screw you guys. It is fire season, so I think we're gonna go, like I said, we're gonna go to raid. We can spare some farmers for a raid. Let's raid the oak trees. Oh no, I've got other ideas. The Orlavang is getting raided. We're feuding with the Orlavang, and fuck them for insulting our emissaries. All right, let's go raiding. We'll send 18 and 130, and we'll send 25 auxiliaries, and hopefully that's good enough. Yeah, let's do it. Big money. Oh, to reach the Orlavangs, our raiding party must cross the Paluski Tula. Dangmar, their chief, is unwilling to let us cross his lands. Dangmar says we wish to remain on good terms with the Orlavangs. We'll offer the Paluski gifts worth 15 cows. Nice, he let us cross. We were spotted by the Orlavang patrols, and our 18 weapon thanes and 130 footmen are facing 13 weapon thanes and 137 spearmen. We're going to devote 1 to magic, 1 magic to our battle, and I think we're going to charge. Oh, I don't know. We could plunder. I mean, we just had to give a bunch of gifts away. I was interested in killing as many as possible, but I think we're going to charge, and I think we're going to plunder. I may go ahead and take 2 magic. We'll leave 3 for the rest of the year. We'll take 2 magic and we'll charge. Go. We wounded 3 footmen, but no one died, and it looks like they took a lot of casualties there. Both sides were eager to engage. Fierce fighting ensued. We drove the Orlavangs from the battlefield, and we were able to plunder their Tula. We captured 30 cows and 9 horses. We took 22 cows worth of loot. Awesome. We got our gifts back, basically. Through their healing magics, our auxiliaries kept 7 warriors from dying and patched up 8 of the wounded. That is fan-fucking-tastic. We can spare farmers for a raid. Oh, we're doing it. we're going raiding again. How are people looking? We just have sick. We have no wounded, so we're going raiding. And we're going to the oak trees. The other guys that don't like us. We'll send 19 weapon thanes and 130 footmen. And we'll send again 25 auxiliaries. We'll call on nobody, and we'll go raid. We were spotted by the oak tree patrols, and our 19 weapon thanes and 130 footmen are facing 13 weapon thanes and 126 swordsmen. We'll go 1 point of magic, and we will charge again. And yeah, we'll plunder again. I want goods. I mean, we'll go trading in the next season where we can get away. I think the very next season is going to be harvest season, but after that, we'll go see if we can do some trading for food and such. Nice! We rushed the oak tree formation while they were still sacrificing to their gods. They were able to retreat as we charged. There was an extended clash. We drove the oak trees from their battlefield and were able to plunder their Tula. We captured 27 cows and 9 horses. We took 18 cows worth of loot. Due to their prompt healing, our auxiliaries kept 5 warriors from dying and patched up 8 of the wounded. Beautiful. Can't spare a single person, and that's just fine. This is interesting. I was interested in doing a sacrifice or a shrine. Oh, this is the one I wanted. Reduces food spoilage. Oh yeah, and it's the god of hunting. Yeah, let's do a sacrifice to the god of hunting, Adalia. We know none of Adalia's mysteries. The gods don't always answer, but to get their attention, a sacrifice should be worth at least 7 cows. Twice as much or more would be better. There is much we can learn. There is much we can learn. We know none of her mysteries, and there's much we can learn. No, we'll do 10 goods, 10 cows. Adalia revealed the workings of the Friend of Yinkin ritual. And we've got a new scenario. The Carls, represented by the Rastalos, the Restive, are unhappy. The clan is trying to support too many weapon thanes, priests, and other folk who eat the food we produce, but don't produce themselves. They're parasites, I tell you. Parasites. Alright, so they think we have too many weapon thanes. It's always difficult to balance the needs of the Carls and those of the warriors. King Hart said, when the Carls and the weapon thanes stop quarreling, that is when you will know that the Golden Storm Hage has returned. I have nothing to add. It is true that we could use a few more hands in the field, but Rastalos is really concerned with a long list of minor slights. Take the matter under advisement, then forget about it. If we do dismiss any weapon thanes, we'll have to compensate them. Fuck that, yeah, I'm not dismissing weapon thanes. It is true that we could use more hands in the field, yeah, a long list of minor slights. The warriors will be more than annoyed if they're dismissed due to the bleedings of a few discontented dirt diggers. Jesus Christ, lady. All right, we're gonna give them each a cow apiece, because I wanted to give them gifts anyway. I just didn't give them enough, so I will give you each a cow apiece. They ceased their grumblings. Oh, whatever, shut up, warriors. The warriors got upset. Let me see what everybody's got to say about that. The warriors are satisfied, but the farmers aren't. We could give them some wealth. I'm gonna give gifts to farmers. Giving any fewer than 10 cows would be pointless. The farmers are unhappy. 10 cows, anything less than 10 cows is pointless. We will give 20 goods to the farmers. There. Everybody's happy. Woo! All right. And we are in the dark season. You know what? Let's have a feast. Let's do it. You guys have anything to say to me? Everybody's satisfied? Nothing new, right? Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, man. A feast is in order. God, this lady's always with her I told you so's. I get it, lady. You're good. We should be arranging marriage feasts. Hey, I tried, but this is better than nothing. There's no point having a feast if we don't invite our neighbors. I agree. It's going to be large. I agree also. The bigger the feast, the better. In moderation, feasting brings joy. In excess, it brings nothing but trouble. 1 a year, lady. Calm down with that. Think less of our own pleasure and remember that the gods only get a feast when we sacrifice to them properly. Feast in Ernalda's honor. I am in total agreement. I will be out on patrol. You never enjoy the feast, huh? Alright, we're having a large feast and inviting our neighbors. Done. Uh-oh. While clearing some forest, your Carls find an ancient cart decorated with a dragon insignia. It is very old. Let's see. If we give it away, our relations with the recipient will improve. It's good to trade. Put it by the temple. We must test it to see if it is magical. That's not a bad idea. What a wonderful discovery. 200 years ago, the Empire of Dragon Friends was destroyed by the very dragons it courted. Nothing there. Trade it away. I think we're going to test it to see if it's magical, and I believe I can always trade it away later. I think it goes in like a little list of shit I got that I can take to other people when I go on trade missions. So we'll test it to see if it's magical. Our God Talker said it had no magic in it. All right, let's trade it. We'll give it to our best friends, the Fire Quartz. Sure, you guys can have it. Merry Christmas. They were grateful for the gift. Boom, we lost 1 magic. Everybody's satisfied. It's the dark season. I say we build a temple to Friend of Yinkin so we don't spoil our food. A shrine to Adalia would help our hunters. Our clan magic is poor. I'd be happy if there were more in it. By all means, we should build a shrine. Adalia, we need a temple to Hamakht if we wish to avoid sacrificing ourselves on the blades of our enemies. Yeah, we wish to avoid sacrificing ourselves on the blades of our enemies. No, we're gonna build this shrine to Adalia. Done. Oh, nice. A scouting party discovers rich farmland not far from your stead. It is inhabited by strange beast folk who behave sort of like normal Orlanthi and call themselves the Thunder Ducks. Alright. For once both warriors and Carls agree, it would be a fine thing to drive these small inhuman creatures from this fertile valley and claim it as your own. Let's see what our ring has to say. It is not as if we will lose the respect of our allies if we displace these creatures. Demand the ducks cede you half their lands. Alright. Demand tribute. Not so much that they feel resistance is the only option. It is better to gain something for no effort than everything at too high a price. Carls and fighters agree on something for once, and we're thinking of denying them. If we don't attack the ducks, we'll be deafened by grumbling. That's a very interesting point. Let's not be too bold. You never know what strange magic members of the elder races might wield. Alright. These ducks appear to practice a corrupted version of Orlanthi ways. They look like easy prey, but we don't know much about them. The ducks know their home terrain. Many a brave man has been humiliated because he underestimated the foe. That is very interesting. Let's demand they give us enough food to feed 50 of our people. Sure. Everybody else is saying we could easily wipe them out. Hopefully they know that as well as we do. These guys seem to be split between kill them and demand from them, so we exacted payment from the ducks, whose larders were heavy. They swore oaths to pay after the harvest. Excellent. Alright. Alright. We've got a lot of cows. Let's send an emissary to the oak tree. Oh, do we need food? Alright, maybe we won't do that. Maybe we'll go trade for some food again. Yeah, let's go to Lysang. We'll give you 1 and 1. And you will trade horses. We'll sell horses, and we'll buy food. Oh, Weapon Thanes return in triumph from a daring raid on the Hendart clan. They carry 40 cows worth of loot. Their leader, Hjord, says they were wiping clean a stain on our honor, and clearly the clan agrees. The only problem is that Hjord asked Oraldag rather than the chief for permission. Yeah, I was gonna say, I absolutely did not say it was okay to go raiding. Our relations with the Hendart clan were already poor. If only Hjord had taken the initiative to strike at the undead menace. I don't understand the fuss. I'm on the ring, and I told them they could go. You've already caused me 2 problems, and actually 3. You've done nothing good for me. Whatever the rest of you decide, obey the chosen leaders is one of the building stones of our society. The farmers appreciate the loot and should forgive the Weapon Thanes for this adventure. Ugh, this sucks. I'm leaning towards punishing this guy. You should know better than to ask Oraldag. You have to ask the fucking ringleader. Alright, we're punishing Hjord. Oh, I'm gonna regret this. We'll give him unpleasant patrols for a season. We're not gonna demote him. He won the raid. He has unpleasant patrols. Done. Hjord was not happy, but admitted he had made an error in judgment. Thank you, Hjord. Thank you for seeing things our way. I appreciate that. Let's see if it's okay to go on an emissary mission. We've already dealt with food. We can't resolve a feud. Oh, we can. I have to select it. We'll resolve a feud with the Oak Tree. We should try to make peace with the Oak Tree clan. I want to do that. Alright, we're sending ASCII to Oak Tree to resolve our feud. And we are going to bring a gift of 12 goods and 2 cattle. Our caravan is back from the Lysangs. We traded 8 horses for 68 bushels of food. The Lysangs were boasting of their cattle raids during my visit. Uh-oh. Oh, this is our... Wow, that was fast. ASCII has presented your gifts to the Oak Tree clan. Jeez Louise, this is looking like it might be a mistake. And extended an offer of peace. The Oak Trees received your gifts politely. Kangarl, their chief, is non-committal. Parandal, the clan trader, seems receptive. Their ranking weapon thane, Kenstraw, on the other hand, clearly imagines himself striking you down on the field of battle. I want marriage! What, you got anything for me? We had a tribe we could band together. Yeah, you're not really helping me. Alright, we're gonna try to arrange a marriage again. They said they would sooner intermarry beastmen than with us, and the beastmen were their ancient enemies. All right, that's clearly not going to be possible. Maybe I'll send an emissary next time to somebody who actually likes us and propose a marriage. All right, I think that's where we're going to leave it. We've made it through 2 years. We're back in the sacred time. We've managed to do some good raiding, and we seem somewhat prosperous. I don't know, I suppose as it goes on, we'd have to get deeper into, I think the ultimate goal is to become the king of Dragon Pass. I've tried really hard not to spoil this game for myself, but I think that's the ultimate goal. And I'm sure as we move along in this game, it gets more and more tricky and more complex. I could definitely see myself coming back to this game every once in a while. Like I think I mentioned in the intro, it does seem like the kind of game where you can just check in on it every once in a while and not have to really commit yourself to it too fully. So I will say, subscribe for more King of Dragon Pass, and I'll see you next time.